Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can pull the employee ID from Azure Active Directory and put it in your PowerApp form. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need a PowerApp form, as you can see here, and you're going to need a Power Automate flow to facilitate the process. Okay, so first you need to do is you build out your form. Now there's two different ways you can do this. You can have it pull so it automatically pulls from the person logged in, or you can use a combo box, aka people picker, to determine which employee ID you want to pull. Now in a lot of environments, the DoD ID number is stored in the employee ID property in Azure. Since it's not a primary property, you cannot use the what do you call it? The Office 365 users connector. Okay, it only pulls back primary properties. An employee ID is a alternate optional property, which means it's 3 levels down. And Office 365 users can only pull the top levels. Okay, so what I did is I set up a simple form here. You got your combo box right here, which facilitates your people picker ability. And then you got email address, phone, job title, office location, and DoD ID number. This is the only one I'm going to show you today, but pulling these is no different. These get pulled. These can be pulled from Office 365 users. This one cannot. So first thing you need to do is you need to go into Power Automate to set up your flow. All right. So what you're going to do, there's 2 different ways you can do it. You got your Power Automate connector over here. You can click on it and then hit add flow. That will create a new flow. Now, if you already have this already set up, you can reuse your flow for other apps too, and you don't have to do anything to the flow, as long as you do it the way I show you. If you keep it dynamic and nothing static inside the flow, you never have to change it, and PowerApps controls what data goes to that flow. So I already have it made here, but we're gonna do it here. So that's the first way. You hit add flow and it'll open up your flow for you. You hit add flow, and then if you have one already made, you can select it from here, or you hit create new flow. You hit create new flow, it's going to bring in a sub window here, and then you're going to hit create from blank. Now, just because you hit create from blank don't mean it's not going to set it up properly. Okay, you need the first step to be this right here. Triggering PowerApps has to trigger it, which basically means when you run your command from PowerApps, it's going to trigger this flow in here because of this right here. Okay, that's the first way. Okay, second way is to bring up Power Automate. Okay, I brought up Power. I'm gonna show you here how to do it from here, and then we'll go into the rest of the flow. So what you do is you're going to hit create on the left side. And I'm apologize now, my connection's really bad, so it's going to take a little longer than normal. And then you're going to come down from here. You're going to create an instant cloud flow, and then you're going to give it a name. So we'll call it employee ID lookup or something like that. You know, it doesn't matter. Just make sure there's no spaces. And it's always good to camel case it so you can see the words. Okay. And then you're going to select PowerApps here. Now, it may not be at the top. It may be at the bottom. You just got to find it. Just look for the purple box. It's pretty easy to find. There's only 2 purple boxes there. Now there's a version 2 now, but version 1 or version 2 works either way. Okay. Then you hit create. Once you hit create, it's going to generate your flow and bring it up. As you can see, it looks exactly the same. But you're going to notice if you do it from PowerApps, you have the ability to test it when you're done. When you do it from PowerApps and bring in Power Automate, that test will not be there. So it's probably better you have it. Now, I'm not going to build it up manually. I already have it built out, and I just want to show you how you create the flow to initially create the flow. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my flows. And then I'm going to find my employee ID thing, and then I'm going to edit it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand everything out so you can see the steps. All right, as you can see in the first step, go away. I don't want you there. All right, so the first step, it's as you can see here, no additional information is needed for this step. You'll be able to use the outputs in the I can't talk today. Subsequent steps. Okay, so first thing you're going to do when you hit you're going to hit a new step right here, and you're going to look for Get User Profile V2. Okay, once you do that, you're going to click in here, and on the right side here, you're going to see Get User Profile V2 User VPN. That's what you want. So you click on it, and it'll pop it in the box. Then you're going to open up Show Advanced Options, and you need to type this employee ID just like it's typed here, because it has to be exact as Azure sees it. Otherwise, it won't pull it back. Okay, so it's lowercase employee, and then a capital I, and then a lowercase d. Okay, that'll finish that step. So you're going to add a step, and you're going to search for Parse JSON. Now, normally you'll rename all these steps to whatever you want them to be. I left them this way so that way it's easy for you to search for them. Okay, so you can type Parse JSON. Under the content field, you're going to click in the box, and there's a lot of stuff here that you can choose from, but you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to look for body. Okay, because you're pulling the user information from Graph API. Okay, the rest of this stuff are all properties inside the data connection for the Get User Profile. All right, so you're going to put pop body in there, and then you're going to copy and paste, which I'll put this in the description, but that way you guys don't have to go through the pain I did. I spent almost 2 days trying to get this to populate right. When you do generate from sample, it's hard to pull it back, because what you have to do is you have to put these 2 steps in here, run it, and then you're going to do a you're going to show the file in the test, show the output, and then you're going to copy and paste it in, and then it should populate like this. But most of the time, all I get is 2 brackets and a string value of, I think, type string, and that's it. It won't give me this employee ID thing in here, which is what you need. This is actually the schema it's going to use for the JSON. Okay. The next step is initialize variable. So you're going to create a variable to capture the output of this JSON right here. Okay, so I called it EmployeeID. You can call it whatever you want. You can put employee ID if you want, but general rule of thumb is you want to keep it short as possible, because when you type in your commands, that's just more letters you got to type. So you put EmployeeID in here. Your data type is string. As you can see, there's different kinds. And then your value is going to be employee ID. So if you click in here, you got dynamic content over here that's got employee ID generated from this step right here. Okay. So you drop that in there. And then the last step you're going to do is respond to PowerApps flow. Now, this one's kind of hard to find. So when you go to add your step, all you have to do is type PowerApp, and right here is respond to PowerApps flow. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this variable name. Well, first off, you're going to make, when you add an output, you're going to go text, because you notice it's got the little text symbol here. Okay. And then you're going to type in, this is the value you're going to use in your PowerApp. So this can be different than, the variable you created up here. This has to be what's in here. Okay. This can be anything you want it to be. And then when you're done, you're going to save it. Okay. Then once it's saved, you go back. Now we're going to go back to your PowerApp. Now we're going to actually tell it what to do now. Okay. Now, if you're doing the combo box solution that I told you about earlier, this is the one I'm going to talk to you about. And then when I'm done doing this one, I'll show you how to auto-populate it on load. Okay. So on your combo box, as you know, the items is this right here. So normally the normal command for doing this is this right here. Okay. But when you put this in there by itself, when you click on that find items box, it's going to search already without you even typing anything in it. So I found it's better if you put an if statement in here, put if the apps, if it is not blank for combo box 1 search text, then run the command, otherwise do nothing. Okay. So where I got this value from is right here from the search term. Okay. Because if you look at the search term, it's exactly the same. Okay. So basically it's saying, hey, if there's no search text in the box, don't do anything. If there is, run it. Okay. And now when you click, so like if I go in right now and click in here, as you see, it doesn't do any searching. It just puts a cursor in the box. And then once you type your name in there, or whatever name you're looking for, it starts searching right away. And then that way you don't have this long string of stuff down here. Okay. Right. So now we got the combo box working. Now we're gonna tell it what to do. Okay, once we do put something in here. All right. So on your combo box, you only have to do one thing. Okay. On change. Okay. On change means when you put something in here, now it's going to run whatever in the on change property, and it will store your data in that variable. So we're using a variable to facilitate this process. So we're going set ODdID. That's just what I called it. ODdID is just a name, nothing special right now. It's blank, as you can see. We're going to run our flow. So get employee ID is my flow name. Dot run, that tells it to, I'm going to run the get employee ID flow, which you can see it's right here. And what we're gonna pass to that flow is one thing: encode URL combo box 1.selected.mail. Okay, we're taking the email of the person you put in here, and we're passing it to the flow by using this property right here. Because you can see when you click in here, it's passing it to the get user profile VT user EPN. Okay. As you remember in the flow, see it's purple and it has the Power Automate symbol here, or Power App symbol here. That's how you know it's coming from the Power App. Okay. That's how I'm keeping it dynamic. Okay. So whatever you pass here, it's going to push it, and you can use it, and I can reuse this with any flow I want to, as long as it's pulling back the employee ID. Okay. And then I'm taking the dynamic value from the combo box, because combo box 1 is this combo box dot selected dot mail. So it's sending the email to it. And then when it finishes running the flow, it's going to take the EmployeeID variable that I made at the end of the flow, which is right here. This EmployeeID, I know they're the same. I can make this something different, and I have to put something different there, and this could be remain the same. It doesn't matter. This is just the name. Okay. So it's running, it's pulling that out, and then storing that EmployeeID information in this variable called ODdID. Okay. And then the last step you have to do in here is you're going to come down to ODdID number field here. It's just a text field. And for the default value, the default property, you're going to put ODdID just like that. Okay. So see if you have it, it gives me the same thing. You can see that it's actually transferring the value from here to here. All right. So now we got everything set up. Let's see it in action. Okay. So we're going to go put my last name in here, select it, and then click off of it. As you can see, it puts my name in there. Yes, I put my picture in here. And down here is my employee ID number that's on Microsoft Azure. And you see how fast it is. It's super fast. It goes really fast. Okay. Now the rest of these properties here, all you have to do to make them work is, see, this has got telephone number, combo about selected job title, and office location. See, it's pulling, it's actually using the properties of this combo box in here. Well, since there's nothing in there, that's why nothing's coming back. Okay. And that's my class on using the employee ID, pulling the employee ID from Azure into PowerApps using Power Automate. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. And I hope you guys have a nice day.